Hey guys, thank you for watching the Slat Rock channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon to get notified every time we post a new video. And if you've already done so, just make sure that it's still active. Here's your news for October 2nd, 2019. We're starting off with some news from Raw today, as Bobby Lashley made his big return to the Red brand, but didn't come alone. During the Universal title match between Seth Rollins and Rusev, Lashley appeared on the stage, joined by Rusev's wife Lana, who locked lips with the former Intercontinental Champion. Saying that the kiss tasted like strawberry on Twitter, Lashley clearly enjoyed himself, and so did the fans, with the video of the kiss being the most viewed YouTube episode from the show, garnering over 2.5 million views. On Instagram, the Ravishing Russian put out some stories about her comeback, adding that, "Well-behaved women seldom make history, and I'm here to make the history books." On Twitter, Renee Young reacted to the kiss with a not-so-PG reaction, while Rusev, a man very rarely lost for words, was stunned silent. Even the new WWE on Fox Twitter had some fun, with an awkward meme gif, as it seems this storyline has everyone's attention. This isn't the first time Rusev and Lana have started seeing other people, as the Russian partnered with Dolph Ziggler to feud with Rusev and Summer Rae in 2016, so it's nice to see some storyline continuity. Fans will have to wait to see when we get the Rusev vs. Lashley match, as well as what Lana will say for herself next week, and where Maria, the woman claiming that Rusev is her baby daddy, fits into this whole thing. One star fans shouldn't expect to see in this wild storyline is CM Punk, but that hasn't stopped the best in the world from teasing a return to the ring. While Punk's attention right now is his acclaimed role in Girl on the Third Floor, the former WWE champion recently spoke about being called by The Rock after the February 20th, 2017 edition of Raw. Fans may remember that the Great One was at Raw to film for the Paige biopic Fighting With My Family, and after Zelina Vega received chants of CM Punk due to her role as AJ Lee, the Brahma Bull called his old foe, though Punk didn't pick up. Speaking to K-Rock, Punk jokingly commented on the 20th anniversary of SmackDown taking place in the same building where the call was made, saying, "I enjoy The Rock, I do, and I'm not trying to put this out, gee, hopefully people don't do this, but do you remember the last time The Rock was in the Staples Center? Let's do it again. When is this show? Next Friday? Dwayne, call me Friday." When asked about his rumored return to the company as part of the new WWE Backstage Studio show, Punk replied coyly, and didn't rule out a return, saying, "You mean to tell me you'd watch a show where I talk about wrestling?" Punk also didn't rule out a return to the ring either, saying, "I think it's taken on a life of its own. If nothing happens, please don't be mad at me." The WWE Universe will just have to wait and see whether The Rock calls Punk again, though the show is already loaded with guest appearances. And while names like Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, The Undertaker, Trish Stratus, Kurt Angle, and Sting will be in attendance for SmackDown's premiere on Fox, an appearance, even via phone call by the best in the world, would make major headlines. The Rock's return to SmackDown was made official on Monday, and instantly, the ticket prices proved just how big a star he is. On the website TickPick, the average get-in prices has increased an astonishing 87%, rising from $62 to $116. The average purchase price of tickets has also gone up 14%, from $109 to $125, and with a total of 23% of TickPick's orders coming for the show yesterday, it shows just how big a deal the Great One is. It's been quite a while since fans got to see The Rock in a WWE ring, and given his busy schedule in Hollywood, it's clear many fans are taking the opportunity to see the Brahma Bull in person one last time. More news from this week's coming SmackDown, as Nikki Bella has become the latest name to tease a return to the show. The longest reigning Divas champion recently took part in a photo shoot, and when she showed off a blue item of clothing, she said she might have to wear that on Friday, a reference to the Blue Show. It'll be interesting to see whether Nikki, who recently retired from the ring due to her neck, will appear, and if so, whether her sister Brie will be with her. With all of these appearances, news, and matches, WWE are taking SmackDown's debut on Fox seriously, but that's meant that this Sunday's Hell in a Cell pay-per-view has kinda been forgotten about. According to Ringside News though, WWE are claiming that they do have a great card planned for this Sunday, they just haven't booked it yet. On this week's Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer explained why the absence of a WWE title match from the card is due to SmackDown, as the company wants fans to believe that Brock Lesnar could leave the Staples Center as the new champion on Friday. One of the things is the WWE Championship match is if Brock wins the title, and it certainly seems that will be the case, and it probably is the case, obviously they can't do anything with Kofi, so maybe it's a Brock and Kofi rematch. A Brock-Kofi rematch at the pay-per-view would be interesting, especially when you consider Lesnar hasn't even been advertised for Hell in a Cell, which, in contrast to SmackDown on Fox, hasn't sold well at all. Over to AEW now, as the company has confirmed Chris Jericho's mystery partners for tonight's premiere episode of AEW Dynamite on TNT. On yesterday's Countdown to Dynamite, the company confirmed that Jericho will team with Santana and Ortiz, formerly known as LAX in Impact, to face Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks in the headline match for tonight's show. These 6 men all have a history, as Santana and Ortiz gave Jericho a thank you following his world title win at All Out, the same night that the former TNA Tag Team Champions debuted in AEW. At the show, Santana and Ortiz made their debut attacking the Young Bucks, so there will be no love lost when these stars collide in 6-man tag action tonight. In addition to the match, tonight's show will also see Nyla Rose and Riho face off to become the first AEW Women's Champion, as well as a special appearance by Jon Moxley. Hangman Page will hope to rebound from his All Out loss when he faces Pac. Brandon Cutler will take on MJF, and Cody Rhodes will face off against Sammy Guevara. There's plenty of reason for fans to tune in, and now those who speak Spanish will be able to listen in as well, thanks to Alex Abrahantes. On Twitter, the lead Spanish announcer for Ring of Honor revealed that he will also call the action on Dynamite every week, in what is a huge acquisition for the new company. Back to Raw now, and last night's premiere episode was a loaded show with appearances by Brock Lesnar, Hulk Hogan, and Ric Flair, which led to a 16% jump in the audience, averaging 2.57 million views. It's the best Raw's done since August 12th, meaning this week's show beat a number of weeks before football season started, as well as toppling every week against Monday Night Football. This week's game of the Bengals vs. the Steelers made no difference in the ratings, as it did 10.47 million viewers, up slightly from last week's 10.33. There was more good news for WWE, as the new 911 show on Fox, which featured Ronda Rousey, also did an impressive 7.46 million. With that said, the Red brand still trailed behind in 9th place for cable for the night, following behind the NFL and News, and only barely beating 90 Day Finance on TLC. Breaking the numbers down, Raw followed its usual pattern of a slow decline, starting with 2.7 million homes tuning in, which dropped to 2.59 million by Hour 2 and ended with 2.42 million on Hour 3. The Hour 1 to Hour 3 drop of 10.6% isn't as bad as usual, and with the younger demographic women staying until the end of the show, and the young men demographic actually increasing, it wasn't a bad season premiere at all for Monday Night Raw. And finally, we're focusing on one special member of WWE's younger demographic, as one of the daughters of Stephanie McMahon and Triple H has reportedly already started training. Speaking on Fox Sports' Things First, Stephanie said that the pair's 13-year-old daughter Aurora Rose has already gotten into the ring, and given who her parents are, probably has the best trainers around. A fourth-generation McMahon, Aurora Rose isn't the only young family member to hint at a career in the ring, as Shane's sons accompanied their father to the ring at WrestleMania 32. It's unclear how much training the daughter of the game and Stephanie has received so far, but she is definitely in the right family to give her some very valuable pointers on how to break into the business. Over to Raw next, and though Jerry Lawler has been announced as part of the new commentary team, fans shouldn't expect to hear his voice for long. According to reports, The King will only be on the show temporarily alongside Vic Joseph and Dio Madden until a permanent replacement is found, and Dave Meltzer claimed on Wrestling Observer Radio that Raw director Paul Heyman never wanted Lawler in the first place, saying, "There's another guy, and I don't know who it is, it might be Nigel. If I read the tea leaves right, I would think if it were my guess, it would be Nigel." A WWE Hall of Famer, Lawler is one of the most recognizable commentators ever, and with so much attention being put on SmackDown recently, this may be a case of WWE still trying to get fans to tune in on Monday nights. Well guys, that's our news for today. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below.